Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khair for tuning in to another episode of your morning motivation. I am your motivator, Hussein Mahmoud. Working to connect you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so you can witness your wildest dreams come true. And in today's morning motivation, if you are struggling with setting and achieving your goals and you've tried every single possible way of goal setting that there is, and you kind of feel a little lost and need a little bit of guiding light and some advice, then today's morning motivation is for you by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today's morning motivation is to become a student of setting goals. And today's morning motivation is to become a student of setting goals. Now, I've been setting goals for at least 5+ years now, and at the bare minimum, if not up to 10 years. And, every single time I struggle and strive to want to achieve my goals, just like many of you guys who are watching struggle and strive to achieve your goals by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if I could rate myself from 0, meaning I have no clue about goals and how to set it and how to achieve it, and 100% being the absolute best, I know what I'm doing and everything else, and 50% kind of being half and half, honestly and genuinely, I think I'm at probably 40% of knowing how to set and achieve goals, because I feel like goal setting has become so complex. One person says, make short-term goals. And then the other person says, no, don't, short-term goals is not going to help. Make long-term goals. And then another person says, no, you set it up this way. No, you set it up that way. No, you set it up long-term. No, you set it up, quarter. No, this and that. And it feels like there's so much contradiction in how to set and achieve goals. And so many people have so much to say about setting and achieving goals that it gets confusing. Even when you're doing research, you kind of get lost in the rubble and the rubbish. And then, with the problems and challenges and the pain and everything that come in life, you tend to lose focus a lot, diverge, right? And then, after a little bit, a couple of months pass, couple of weeks to a couple of months pass by, then you want to get back on track. And then, it's kind of like a baby learning how to walk again. You're trying to figure out everything from scratch. And, that cycle keeps happening, and it's basically the cycle of failure. So, I'll give you, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just a few tips that I use to increase my knowledge in setting and achieving goals that I hope that will help you by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one, I realize that, there's many ways of setting and achieving goals. There are a few things that, that are common, but a lot of it is just customizable, it's personal. So the first question that you should ask yourself is, does this way of setting goal make sense, right? Secondly, you want to ask yourself, does it work for me, right? In anything that you do, in anything that is contradicting, the first question is, does this make sense to me? Second, does it work for me, right? And from then on, you go through your trial and error and figure out how to set your own goals. From the most important to the not important, from, the keystone goals that they call it. The ones that once you focus on, if you achieve, will make everything else easier or unnecessary. So figure out what your keystone goals are. And last but not least, keep the storied limiting beliefs out of the way. What does that mean? If you really wanted a goal and you wanted to achieve it in a short period of time, and you ask somebody, can this be achieved? And they tell you, what are you talking about? It took me 10 years to